Hey, I'm Dr. Mike Roussel, and in today's Ask Dr. Mike video, we're going to answer the question, which is better, rolled oats or steel cut oats? So today's question was submitted via the support desk, and in it the reader was wondering, which is better for you, rolled oats or steel cut oats? Right? Because and this is a real common question. This wasn't the first time I've heard this, because steel cut oats are often really pitched as the healthy option, like the really healthy oats. But what the science says previously had been rather interesting. So there had been a previous study looking at the glycemic index response between rolled oats and steel cut oats. And so the glycemic index response, something we've talked about before, but just kind of a quick recap. It's a rating of how fast a food, specifically a carbohydrate-based food, causes the rise in your blood sugar levels. And what they had found previously was that with rolled oats and steel cut oats, that they had caused similar rises in blood sugar. But more recently, there was a study that they wanted to kind of revisit this concept because they didn't feel like the original researchers did justice to actually how the oats were prepared. If I remember correctly, in the original study, they were boiled in water for 15 minutes. And so, if you were to take either of these or sort of any food and boil it in water for 15 minutes, you're pretty much going to nuke any sort of nutritional components to it and making it all kind of mush. So they didn't think that was, a realistic look at how people eat oats, so that then the physiological response of that similar glycemic index was then also not equal. So, and they also wanted to look at things like hunger and fullness and appetite, and to see if any of those were impacted with the different kinds of oats. So what they did was they made it, the researchers were from London, and so they made it more how they make oats over there. So they used milk and honey to make more of a porridge. And what they found was that whether they used rolled oats or steel cut oats, they saw similar rises in blood sugar. But what was interesting was that when people ate steel cut oats, their blood sugar levels returned to normal a lot faster than if they had eaten rolled oats. Now, which kind of makes this story even a little bit more complicated, was when they looked at the surveys of perceived hunger and satiety and fullness, the only difference was with fullness. And when people ate rolled oats, they were more full. So your blood sugar returned to normal faster with steel cut oats, but you felt more full after rolled oats. So why is that? Well, the researchers thought that maybe it had to do with insulin. So when they made the porridge, no study's perfect, so they were trying to match for weight and nutrients and all these things, and there was a little bit more milk in the rolled oats one. And so milk proteins like whey and casein, which we've talked about before, are insulinogenic, so meaning that they stimulate insulin. And in addition to, so they were thinking that this extra insulin stimulation, in addition to the carbohydrates in the oats, cause that fullness, because insulin, although most people don't think about it this way, is actually a satiety hormone, right? Because insulin signals your body that there's an abundance. And so if there's an abundance of food, it then signals that you're full. So kind of confusing. So basically what we're getting here now is that more full with rolled oats, but you get a better blood sugar response with steel cut oats. Now, I think in the end, it's all kind of splitting hairs, and I think you should eat whichever one you prefer. For a lot of people, it's a time difference, right? You can cook steel cut oats a lot faster than you can cook rolled oats. I mean, you can literally pour rolled oats just in a bowl of milk and eat that without even cooking it. Try doing that with steel cut oats and you'll need a new jaw after about 15 minutes. So I think it's best that you just pick the one that you like the most. If you have a condition like diabetes and you're really concerned about your blood sugar control, then opting for steel cut oats over rolled oats is going to help you in that postprandial, which means post-eating. It's what scientists call kind of the post-eating, the postprandial period. It'll help you get your blood sugar back down faster with the steel cut oats. Okay? So factor in time, factor in flavors and taste preferences. Steel cut oats are a lot nuttier. And then also factor in your own personal physiology. If you have type 2 diabetes, or if you're fighting insulin resistance, then steel cut oats are definitely going to be the way to go. Okay, so hopefully that answered your question. I know it presented a couple more questions, but the bottom line question, hopefully we answered it, which is better. It's really personal preference. Okay, so I'm Dr. Mike Russell, and that's going to wrap it up for this video. Thanks a lot. If you have any other questions, post the comments below the video, and make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel.